Hey everybody, it's Herc Magnus, and I just want to cover a big update that we just did to keyword supremacy. And this update primarily is working on the user interface, making things easier and make more sense to you as you're using the keyword search. So you'll notice the menu here on the screen has 5 items. If you don't see search database, that's called the global database. It's because you don't have that feature. But typically you'll see 5. If you don't have the search database, you'll see 4. And we'll start here in the search keywords tab. Not a lot of changes here. One of the changes is we removed the domain tab into a search domains menu item, and I'll talk about that when we get there. But your searches here are going to be the same. There's not much of a change here. The biggest change is that in the previous version, when you were doing a search on related and similar, when you saved those lists, they actually went into a section in your menu called My Saved Lists, which was a different section than when you were doing something with like Google or Yahoo or YouTube or any of the search A to Z search suggestions. So we've made that change where any searches that you do on any of these tabs will now go into My Searches. So I'm going to click on that next. And we've organized it quite a bit better. The first thing is we've added a source. So if, for instance, you can see here I did a seed keyword of diet plan, and I did it in similar. For instance, I did 7 keto. That source was the Google tab. So we're going to show you what tab you use to search for the keyword. We'll show you what your seed keyword is. We'll show you how many results and the date of those as well. In this area, My Searches, on the bottom, you'll actually have, by default, when you access this page, you'll actually have all your keywords showing here so that you can sort and filter through them or search for certain keywords. But if you want to look at a specific list, all you have to do is click on the magnifying glass icon, and that will filter out just to the list that you want to look at. So you can see now we filtered down to 1,000 keywords. And we're just showing the diet plan group. If you want to get back to the main window where you're looking at all your keywords, just click on My Searches again. So all searches that you do in the search keywords tab will now be sent over to My Searches as a history of your search. The next new tab is the search domains tab, or menu item I should say, which did used to be a tab, but we put it in its own place since it's a little bit different, where what you're actually searching for is a domain and finding out what keywords that domain is ranking for. So as you're searching for domains, new cards will be added to your results where you can look at the history. So for instance, if we just click on one of them, down in the bottom, it will load up that report where first you'll get an overall domain report of Project Supremacy. So we can see we have 120 organic results, 0 paid results, estimated traffic of about 100 a month, 3 keywords in the first position, 1 and 2 to 3 and 5 and 4 to 10. And then down at the bottom, you'll get the SERP snippet, the keyword, the position, and then as well as the search volume. And the way I like to use this is once I load a report, I like to look at what keywords are showing up in what position. So obviously we're ranking for our brand name quite often. And then the other filter I like to use, or sort function, is the search volume. I like to see what are the high volume keywords and where are we ranking for those. So for instance, JSON or schema JSON has search volume 8100, and we're ranking in position number 92. So all those reports are available to you inside of the search domain, since they're just a little bit different. Once again, the My Searches is where all your actual searches will go, history and tagged for you. And then the next area is My Lists. So My Lists used to have kind of the similar and the related tab results going into there, and then any results that you were saving on your own. So for instance, let me create a My List to show you how this works. Now, what My List basically is for you to create your own small list of keywords that you're working on that you want to group. So for instance, if I load up, let's say, Garcinia Cambodia group, when I'm searching inside of My Searches, and I want to tag certain keywords, I would just simply click the icon and you'll see a selected keywords box pop up that is movable and draggable. So I would just select the keywords that I want to use, okay, and then once they're there, I could resize the box, okay, I can save that selection. So I'll call it Garcinia Cambodia search, You know what I mean? And then I'll save that group. Now this would be like a group of keywords that you want to target for a page or a post or something, and you just want to have those in a small little group. So you'd click on save that group, and then where you'd be able to access that now, so we'll close this, is in my lists. Now my lists is going to load kind of like the search domain where you'll get cards that show your list, and on the bottom initially will show all the keywords, but if you just want to look at that specific list, let's say for instance GC search, I'm going to click on that. Okay, that'll load just those keywords for GC search. And then if you want to quickly copy those keywords, all you'd have to do is click on the copy all button, and that would bring up the list of keywords in another window that you could quickly copy and paste over to something like Project Surpemacy or another tool. So we'll just give you a quick example of that. If I click on this button, a new window will pop up and load these keywords for you to quickly copy and paste over to any other tool such as Project Surpemacy V3 Project Planner. So the next area I want to cover is basically the icons that are showing up. You can see in the Research It tab. Basically the globe icon is going to check if this domain is available. So if you click on this icon, it'll say, do you want to check the domain? And you can click on OK, and it will check to see if that domain is available. Now before you do that, what I highly suggest you do is go into your account, go into the main tab and then my account. And what you're going to do is select your favorite TLD. So you can see there's a lot of different domain extensions as TLD. So I typically like to search the main ones, the .com, the .net, and the .org only. And if you select those as your favorites, when you're doing those domain checks, it will only check your favorite list versus checking all the accounts. It will speed things up a lot for you as well, so we don't have to check too many domains. We'll just check your main ones. So that's what the globe icon is for, to check the domain availability. The next little one is the Google Trends. So if you want to look at what a keyword has done in the past year of Google Trends, you can click on this icon, and what it'll bring up is this chart that's basically just the Google Trends chart. That keyword apparently doesn't have enough volume, so we'll just go to a bigger one. 4,400 searches a month should have some graphing done for it. So there we go. You can see in the United States over the past 12 months, this is not a search volume, it's an interest over time. You can see the information you're going to get from this chart is if it's a trending topic or a seasonal topic. If it was seasonal, you'd see it spike around maybe Christmas or summer. Whereas something like keto, it's pretty stable. It's basically interesting, or the same level of interest over time. It's just going to give you a good insight into the Google interest and trends for those specific keywords. The next tab is the Google icon, and when you click on that, what it's actually going to do is open 4 windows really quickly for you. Where it's going to do a broad match, and the reason we do this is basically it's a competition signal. It'll tell you how many results are there for that keyword for the broad match, and then it'll tell you how many keywords are there for the phrase. You can see the phrase has a lot less than the broad. It'll do an in title search as well, and then it'll do an in URL search in Google, and what you're looking for are these numbers. And if you're interested in learning about what these numbers mean and how to tell if things are easy or hard for you, I recommend you sign up to supremacy.digital and go into the Project Surpemacy replays and look up in title in URL as a keyword in our webinar replays, and you can learn how we can use these numbers to analyze whether these are competitive keywords or not. But we wanted to build in the function to quickly look those up for you, and that's what the Google icon does. The next one is a quick access to search that keyword in Cora. And Cora is basically a user-generated question and answer thing. And the great thing about this is really when you're looking at a keyword, you just want to get ideas of content. You want to get ideas of what people are talking about, what type of questions they're asking. And if you're seeing a lot of data in Cora, it's obviously a pretty good keyword with a lot of talk about it. And it'll just help you when you're building your sites get ideas for other keywords or topics that you should be covering, questions that you should be answering on your blogs and stuff like that. So it's a really nice way to look at that kind of data. It's just that icon. The next one is the view history button. What that will do is, first of all, it will only show if we can access the past 12 months of search volume history in AdWords. So if you click on that icon, what it's telling you is for the past 12 months, here's the search trend that Google AdWords has. So you can see down in 3,000 around October, up to around 5,400 in January, where people are making New Year's resolutions for weight loss. So it makes sense that it would be a little bit higher. So once again, this last view history button is only going to be available to keywords where we can actually grab that data. If we can't grab that data for whatever reason, that button won't show up for you guys. The next icon that I want to show you guys, obviously you already know about the plus icons to add the keywords to your own saved list. But we also have a little action icon here where what you're saying is, I'm interested in this keyword or this niche, possibly like 7 keto, but I want to do quick access for further research. So what that would do is take that keyword and send it back into Google, Yahoo, Amazon, eBay, YouTube, Alibaba, or you could actually send it into the related similar or top domains results to get more results in a quick way. It's basically the same thing as copy and pasting that keyword, going back to search keywords. So for instance, I'll just give you an example. Say I wanted to search that in Google, I would just take it and hit the Google tab, and it will throw that keyword right back into the Google tab for me. So it just makes things a lot faster. So those are the main updates that we have for keyword supremacy. So the next part is future development. We do have an analysis tab, and where this is going, it's not quite done yet. It does have a little bit available to you right now. But where this is going is basically, if you're familiar with tools like Page Optimizer Pro, or specifically referred to as POP, or Cora, what those tools are doing are basically taking a keyword, looking at the top 10 results in Google for that keyword, and then basically measuring the on-page elements of them, and then telling you how your site compares to them. So we're going to do something similar. So like for instance, if I look at the keyword Bitcoin betting, these are the top 10 ranking sites for that keyword. And I can start getting a lot of information about their title length, their description length, what H tags they're using, if they have images, the word count on the page, stuff like that. And then you'll also have a lot more items available to you. You can see we can pull in, do they have duplicated meta descriptions, meta tags, favicons, robots, external links, broken links, just all kinds of stuff that you can look at. And then what we'll do down at the bottom is measure the average of each of these important elements, as well as the median of those important elements, and report those to you. And then what you'll also be able to do is put in your own domain and see how you measure up against the average and the median of the top 10 ranking sites, and give you the analysis of, hey, how does your site stack up against the top 10 sites? Maybe you have too many H1s, or maybe you have too few, maybe your title's too long, or maybe it's too short. So this whole area is basically pegged right now for future development. We're going to be working on this over the next few weeks, and just really improving it, getting it to the same level of quality as we have on the keyword research side. But this is basically now competition research for your keywords, and that is going to be updated over the next few weeks. The global database basically is all the keywords that the system has found through all users in the history. So you can see we have over 500 million keywords in the database, and that's growing daily as people are searching for keywords. Basically, when we were in the search keywords, in the My Searches tab, you guys remember that I said the first view is all your keywords that you found. So for instance, in my account, we have 48,000 keywords that I've personally done research on. Well, if we add up all the keywords that all the users have in their personal database, that's what becomes the global database. And if you purchase access to the global database, you'll get access to all the keywords. The nice thing about the global database is you can basically really go niche hunting using filters and using searches. So for instance, let's say you wanted to just like find some really sweet spot volume keywords. So say between 5,000 searches and basically 10,000 searches a month, but you want a really high cost per click, $10. Okay, you could set your filters and then click go, and it's going to search through those 500 million keywords and report back only the keywords that fall. So you can see there's 30,000 keywords in here that have a search volume between 5,000 and 11,000 with a minimum $10 cost per click. And then what you can do is use the sorting functions. So say we sort by cost per click to see like what are the really high cost keywords in here. So we'll just let that run for a second. And with this data, you can see like trucking accident lawyers has a $300 CPC, and there's just all kinds of keywords with $200 CPCs. That these become really good niches that you might want to bring back from the search data, the global database, into searching it and digging down deeper. The other thing you can do is actually, if you find it here, trucking accident lawyers, is take a keyword like trucking accident. It'll just give you all the keywords in the global database that have trucking accident in the word. So we can see we have 156 keywords here. And I'm sure that if you go take that trucking accident back into the auto suggest or the similar or related, it will expand even further, but it'll give you a good idea of what the trucking accident type keywords are that you want to start targeting on your sites. And then once again, you still have access to creating your own save lists, as well as all this search history or all the research buttons here. So if you are interested and you don't have access to the global database, I'll leave a URL below this video where you can go ahead and watch the webinar where we basically presented what the search database is, what the top analysis database is, and then you'll see we also have an option for you to search credit free. Right now we are a credit based system where you buy a package of credits and you use your credits to look up the volume in the CPC for keywords. And then when you're out of credits, you just go ahead and buy more. No monthly subscriptions or anything like that. But we also offer an unlimited credit-free search system on an annual or a monthly, so that you can not have to worry about credits. If you're a heavy keyword researcher, you could just go in and do as much keyword research as you want. So I'll leave a link to that webinar below the video. Otherwise, hopefully you guys like the update, and we'll talk to you soon.